Trevor Bauer vowing to fight an unprecedented 2-year suspension. The league announcing the move following an investigation into a woman's allegations of sexual assault.
Former Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer is speaking out after settling a lawsuit with a woman who accused him of sexual assault.
I hadn't seen this before. In the negotiated settlement, he still gets to speak out and provide evidence to kind of clear his name. Had anybody ever heard that ever before? I have not.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. "What should I steal?" she asked another, in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. Net worth is 51 mil, she said. "Bitch, you better secure the bag," was the response. But how is she going to do that? "Need daddy to choke me out," she said, being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, "Do you feel a tiny bit guilty?" "Not really," she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021. Without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face. Fact is, I was never arrested. I was never charged with a crime, and I won the only legal proceeding that took place without my side of the story even being heard. As I've said from day one, I never sexually assaulted Lindsey Hill, or anyone else for that matter.
We did a video that was very controversial.
Trevor Bauer's 2-year suspension from Major League Baseball is wrong. I think that this suspension sends just terrible messages throughout society. Trevor Bauer is being suspended for violating a policy that the courts have determined he did not violate. There is mountains of evidence to suggest that the accuser in this situation fabricated her story so that she could extract massive sums of money from this man.
And we knew it was going to be controversial when we made the video talking about Trevor Bauer and the allegations made against him that I knew from the very beginning made absolutely no sense. Why did it not make any sense to me, Cap? I'm going to tell you. This woman claimed that she drove over 2 hours to be essayed twice.
That's dedication.
What woman do you know would get essayed, drive the 2 hours plus home, then drive back to the scene of the place where she was essayed so he could do it again?
Evil. Just believe all women. Like, what are you doing? Believe all women.
Yeah. My bad.
Remember that? Remember when people in that comment section, like some of the weirdos were like, "Oh my God, you guys support this culture." Well, guess what, bitch? Turns out, who was right? Who was daddy? That was right. So that's the thing, man. So Trevor Bauer, man, we've all kind of made it. Trevor Bauer released a video on his own, in his own sayings. It's all bullshit. All of this turned out to be completely fabricated accusations. And dude, his career has been ruined, right? Regardless if he's proven innocent or not, you know, there's always going to be this negative stigma because there's going to be those idiots that'll be like, "Well, wasn't he this? Didn't he essay?" Like, no, it turned out to be completely false. His career and his reputation has been completely ruined. The only good thing that came out of this is Bauer was able to play in Japan, which was on his bucket list. And the people over in Japan, regardless of some of the weird narratives trying to be spun here in the US, absolutely love him. So, I mean, I guess that's an okay, but I think we can both agree, right? Where Japanese baseball can be fun and entertaining, it's nowhere to the same level of the MLB.
No,
right?
they call it they call it quadruple A competition, meaning that it is above what you find at AAA, but not what you would find in the major leagues.
Absolutely. And you know what? We've seen several cases of this recently. I mean, even that Yale student that's now suing, or former Yale student, that's now suing the accuser in the school of Yale, when it turned out there was a false accusation against him, and he ended up getting kicked out of school and his reputation destroyed.
Yep.
We're starting to see now that this whole believe all bullshit isn't necessarily the smartest thing to do. And I don't know, maybe Oh shit, what's that called? Like innocent until proven guilty?
Here's the thing, man. You know, when I looked at this situation, I knew that Trevor Bauer was toast from the very beginning. And I'm a person that I have a very long memory. And I'm pretty sure that Trevor, since he was the victim in all of this, I'm pretty sure his memory is going to be probably longer than mine. I remember what all of his so-called teammates said about him.
Yeah.
And all the thing, you know, because the thing is, Julio Urias, who is also a Dodgers pitcher, I think that there is actual footage of him abusing the woman that he's with. But they were very quick to wipe his mural off the wall. They were very quick to, you know, empty out his locker, right?
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily have a problem with that, especially when there is conclusive footage and third-party reporting of an assault that happened on the street in front of thousands of people. Like, I don't have a problem with that, right?
Right.
Like, get him out of here. But with Trevor, nobody stopped to think that someone traveled to his house from over 100 miles away for him to violate them both times. That would be like me going to a neighborhood where I got robbed and then knocking on the dude or the nigga that robbed me with my pockets flush full of cash, expecting not to get robbed again. Like,
Yeah.
to me, it just did not make any sense.
No, it didn't make any sense, and I think anyone that kind of actually followed the story could tell there was some inconsistencies in her stories, because it just didn't make any sense. Why would you go back there a second time if you were so massively abused? But I mean, the text messages that are now public that Bauer shared on his own video are extremely damning.
Disturbing.
Yeah,
disturbing.
damning and disturbing. Yeah, and this is young fellas. Listen when I say this. If you are in high school, you're in college, and I mean this, even if you're gonna play semi-pro somewhere, don't be messing with these women like that. I'm dead serious. You gotta make sure you take care of yourself. Don't be just meeting people on Tinder and then instantly going this, because you don't know what accusations will fall on you. I mean, you had law students that just trying to go about his career, maybe get a little bit of action on the side, right? A little bit of relations. Their life is destroyed because they're trying to make a consensual thing not seem so consensual. And I think we can both say here, right, DEG, none of us ever co-sign any essay type behavior, ever. But we also don't co-sign the lying and fabricating of these fake essay accusations where these people are destroying livelihoods. And this is why, in my personal opinion, if you accuse somebody of that crime and it turns out that you are purposely, right, spreading false information, of purposely saying a false statement to get them incarcerated or destroy their life, you should serve the jail sentence because you tried to destroy someone's life, right? I think what's fair is fair.
I think a lot of people feel the way you do. In fact, there are a lot of women that are very quick to jump on the bandwagon of destroying a man. But when the woman is found out to be cheating, there's a good percentage of those women that will say the exact same thing that you said. Those women will come back and say, you know what the woman did was wrong, and whatever sentence that he stood to serve, she should serve it instead. And, you know, I kind of sort of, I don't 100% agree with that, and I'll explain why in a second. Mm-hmm. But here's where I really want to put the focus on, Cap. Every major news outlet was shouting from the rooftops that Trevor Bauer is a blankety blank blank. Now that all of the information is out there, where is everybody publishing retractions? Where is everybody saying, you know, where is, you know, the loud fucking the big title at the top that says breaking news, Trevor Bauer falsely accused? Where is all of that, Cap?
Nowhere. Can't see it. I mean, even in the news reports you do find, right? It's not that like, oh, he's innocent. Oh, that they settled out of court.
Yep.
That's the exact language. It doesn't actually use the language of that. Hey, turns out that story ends out to be completely false. Now, what they say might be somewhat true, but we both know what's going on there, right?
Yeah, they're misrepresenting it.
Exactly.
Because they knew how to say it with their chest when the accusations came out. They knew Trevor Bauer, Trevor Bauer accused of blankety blank blank. Mm-hmm. But then when it's found out that, maybe Trevor Bauer was completely innocent, they don't want to use the word innocent. They don't want to use the phrase false allegation.
Nope. Because
they want to say settled out of court with neither parties paying any money to the other. They don't want to go through the text messages, and shame on the San Diego Padres player who set Trevor Bauer up in the beginning.
Yeah.
With this woman claiming that she'll give him $50,000 for helping to set up Trevor Bauer because he's got a net worth of $51 million. She was telling her friends, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go get this guy."
And the interesting thing is, right, in the Bauer video, she's actually gonna have to pay his lawyer fees and all that, right? And it's gonna be very interesting to see kind of like,
how's she gonna do that? She broke.
I don't know, get a job, get 2 jobs, get 3 jobs. I don't know how it's gonna kind of end up shaping out, but in the article, in the video itself, it was interesting to see the amount of money. He spent a ton of money on this, just trying to prove his innocence. And he even said, like,
lost a ton of money.
Yeah, he lost a ton of money. Yeah, it's true. He lost a ton of money.
A 324 game suspension.
Yep.
Knocked down to whatever was knocked down to, but he did not get paid that money. The Dodgers actually make out like bandits here. And you think the Dodgers? Now, let's talk. I'm wearing my little Dodgers colors today. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, LAD. Are you guys gonna put out a full page in the Los Angeles Times? Are you guys gonna come out on MLB.com or come out on Twitter or Narcigram or any of these social medias and apologize for contributing to the destruction of the public image of an innocent man? Are you gonna do that? You're just gonna pretend like all of this shit, didn't happen?
No, they're gonna pretend like it didn't happen, or they're just gonna like maybe have a slight post. But the MLB and the LA Dodgers, they owe him an apology because they destroyed his career. Now, could he come back? Maybe, but who's going to want to touch that? Even though he's proven innocent, I just hate to put it this way.
There is,
even though he's proven innocent, no one is going to want to touch that. And just like we've had conversation about other leagues, there's definitely probably some backdoor channel conversations being like, do not sign him. Do not bring him in the league. And you know what? Trevor Bauer, even before this accusation, wasn't well liked by certain people because he's a weird dude, right? I feel like kind of like Zach Greinke, like just weird personalities, weird dude, right? But Trevor Bauer, right?
He's the loud, douchey side of Zach Greinke's quiet, aloof side.
Whereas, like, Trevor
by the way, Cap, you took
guilty after proven innocent?
Because that's what happens to men who are falsely accused of anything.
Yeah.
You're gonna forever be known as what you were accused of, and no one is going to talk about what happens after you've been proven to be innocent. And this is, I'm gonna go farther than you, Cap. I'm gonna go farther than you on this. This is the sole reason why I believe you young men out there. And please don't take this as me hating on you trying to get some ass, because I want to see all of y'all dick wet. All right? Because it's hard out there. It's hard out there in life.
Pause.
All right?
Jesus Christ.
All right? I want to see you guys getting all the action that you can get. But here's the problem, man. Is it worth the risk?
No. It's not.
Is it worth the risk?
It's no.
I mean, the likelihood that you're going to catch one of these cases probably depends on what your net worth is, but is it really something that you think that you can afford to even have associate? You don't even want to have a friend who was accused and then found innocent, because people are going to look at you funny.
Yeah, I mean,
is that few minutes of pleasure when you could have just gone to the hub? Is that few minutes of pleasure and her boyfriend or husband or father or family finding out that she was sleeping with you, and then she's got to save her, she has to save her honor somehow, and then claim that you did something to her?
Yeah.
Right? Like, is it going to be worth it for you?
No, of course it's not going to be worth to any professional athlete or even any prospect, even any college player, anybody really. It's just not worth it. There's been, and this isn't just like as some people will counter. Oh, it's a few cases. No, there's a lot of cases where young men are lied about. Young men are lied about, and their lives get damaged forever due to false accusations. Where that woman gets to go on and live her life. And it's cases like this, right, where people don't understand. Yeah, there's some loud weirdo sect of the red pill community that don't really kind of talk about the actual reason why it was formed in the first place. It's reasons like this where men have to look after themselves. We have these conversations and difficult conversations. This is why the red pill community exists. Situations like this where men are completely destroyed by the justice system. Because or
the
just
legal system.
No, the legal system, right?
It's not about justice.
No, it's definitely not about justice. The only justice that I could say that comes out of this is it's finally proven innocent, but you know how it is. People are far louder, right, with the initial story than the actual truth when it comes out. So, you know what? I know people want to just have a lot of conversations negative about the red pill, and I think the red pill community has some negative aspects to it, but the reason why it exists is because of cases like this.
Right. I mean, again, and I've already done a video on this channel. You can go way back 2 years ago when I explained the concept of what red pill ideology is. It is simply recognizing the reality in front of you instead of what is sold to you. That's it. And it doesn't have to do with man versus woman. It could be, I don't know, you working for a company full of people who are supposedly politically aligned with you, and then when you get hurt on the job, they want to hurry up and stick a spiked dildo up your ass. Right?
I mean, yeah.
Like you get red pilled from that when you finally realize that none of these companies or corporations give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
They don't have your best interests at heart. That's the victim of that situation. I'm not going to say any names. I'm pretty sure we all know somebody like that.
Right.
That is the red pilling of that person, and it has nothing to do with women. So I just think that, I don't want to victim blame here. But guys, you got to learn from Trevor's example. Trevor thought that somebody actually was attracted to him, wanted to have fun, their type of fun. He gave the person what they were looking for, and that person took that evidence and then misrepresented it so that they can get a lot of this man's money. And I think it just goes to show that you can't be trying to rush out to sleep with these women. You need to figure out what kind of character is attached to the ass that you're trying to clap. It's really important because, you don't know if you're going to end up being trapped with a baby like some of these athletes or some of these people who are high net worth individuals. You don't know if that person is looking to cover over, something that they did wrong or cover over something that someone else did wrong to them.
Yeah.
You have no reason, no clue why they would do what they do. But if you don't really know them, you really should not be giving them intimate access to your body, because in this society, we're not just risking unwanted pregnancy. We're not just risking unwanted STIs and STDs. What you're risking now is your freedom and your livelihood. Because as we've seen time and time again, with the fucking brick lady, the woman only needs to make an allegation and your life is destroyed, and anybody that looks like you is going to be kind of swept in there and demonized. But when they are found out to be lying, because one of the things that we did not mention after the whole thing with the brick lady is that she was never hit with a brick in the first place at all. What she did was she injected saline into her face to create the swelling on the side of her head.
You know what, though? And this is the last kind of tidbit of the Bauer thing I'll say. The most interesting thing, right, and I had it in the intro of this video, is that she took a picture the night after the essay, smiling, and like with a picture of him without his consent, by the way, and took that picture. So if you were a victim of abuse, why would you take a picture smiling all happy the night after? I don't know, just a load of bullshit. And I'm hoping for Trevor Bauer's case, man, he gets, keeps living out in Japan, enjoying his time, being with a bunch of fans that really like and support him. And I don't know, maybe you see an MLB comeback. I highly doubt it.
I'm not sure, man. I think that it is completely unfair for him to be in the position that he's in right now, having done nothing wrong. I know that a lot of people will disagree with me when I make the parallel to Colin Kaepernick, but, you know, he should have never been blacklisted in the first place to then be too old to get a job in the football league.
Right.
And I think that you're going to see something very similar to Trevor Bauer, even though Trevor has been playing. As soon as he was able to play, he went somewhere to play. So this kind of goes to your point that you made in the Colin Kaepernick video about, you know, Colin could have gone to any league just to make sure that people knew what he looked like with a helmet and pads on, right?
Yeah.
And we both agreed from a tactical standpoint that was probably a mistake for him to let his pride and his presumed victimization, that victimhood, to lead him to make choices that were not in the best interest of his professional athletic career. Now Bauer has gone the other way. He went somewhere else to play ball. Now, is it the major leagues? It's not the major leagues, but it's close enough, right? We just had Kodai Senga come from that league, from Japan, and look what he did for the Mets. He was pretty much the only consistently good player on the team here in the major leagues.
And they also have a huge prospect, Yamamoto, over there right now that a lot of teams are going to be in on, trying to buy. And listen,
looks like the Mets are at the top of that list.
Red Sox, listen, directly to you, Red Sox. We suck, right? Trevor Bauer's available. I'm just saying we need some pitching, right? Because Chris Sale is going to fall apart after
No, he fell apart.
Oh, listen. He does fall. He already fell apart, but he's gonna fall even further apart after one start and be out for 2 months because he fucking tripped over a staircase. I don't know. So Trevor Bauer should be a Red Sox because we need some goddamn pitching help. But I do think Trevor Bauer should be back in the league. I do think he should be.
But the thing is, and this is the messed up part, and again, I have to keep making the parallel to Colin Kaepernick because I remember what the teams were talking about in 2017 and 2018 about the distractions of bringing him on the team. And so even though Trevor was proven innocent by the text messages, the malicious text messages sent by his supposed victim.
Yep.
And now everybody knows that this woman was lying.
Yep.
They're still going to say, well, we don't want to be associated with that story. When that story happened to him, it was not perpetrated by him. And one more thing, Kat, one more thing. And I know a lot of people are going to let this part kind of fly by, right? After this woman lied, 2 or 3 other women came forward and then told some lies on the back end, thinking that they were going to be able to attach their lie to that woman's lie and then get rich and famous and get book deals about how much victimized they are. Now, what are those women going to do now when the you know, I'm going to go along to get along, I'm going to try to jump on this bandwagon of destroying a powerful, high net worth individual? What happens when the main story that you attached your hooks to falls flat, fails to hold water, shown to be maliciously false? What are you going to do now? And what are we going to say about those women? Are we ever going to hear from those women or hear about those women ever again?
If I'm Trevor Bauer, though, I'm pursuing every one of them legally. Like, I am, like, for defamation. I'm just saying, like, if I'm gonna like spend a lot of money for that, I'm gonna spend a lot of money to prove myself. And listen, Trevor Bauer, he's got his YouTube channel, he's got that Momentum channel, the baseball channel.
Why is it on him?
It's not on him, but I'm saying,
why does he have to spend all the money, Kat? Why does he have to spend all this money to prove that these women are just lying? Why is it his financial responsibility?
Because the society's fucked up with how it is. I don't know what the ramifications are. I think he should, you know, sue him in court and then win a little bit of money, like, you know, McDonald's money for him, right? But it's just, I don't know. It's unfortunate, but this is the reality which male athletes live in these days. You have to be very careful with who you associate, with who you start a relationship. And I hate to say it this way,
who you lay down with.
But if you, right, if you are a professional athlete, you better get in a relationship in high school. You better get in a relationship very early on before the fame, because quite frankly, trying to date or trying to find somebody when you're already a star, good luck with that. Good luck with that. So... But, I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty much all we got to say. I know you got to be heading out soon, and I think this is pretty much everything. I'd like to know your guys' opinions down below. Like, hey, what do you think of this Trevor Bauer story? What do you think of the accuser? What should their punishment be, if you were to say anything? Anything else to add there, Evil?
I'm going to borrow a phrase from Manosphere Highlights Daily. Shout out to those guys. We'll leave a link to that channel in the description below. Protect yourself at all times.
Amen.
Okay? Protect yourself at all times. PYAAT. Remember it, fellas. I'm telling you, do not let your second brain lead your first brain. Because even if you are proven to be innocent, you are still guilty in the court of public opinion.
That's facts. So, well, we here at TSP are the bringer of cold truths and hot takes.
Hot takes.
So, see you in the next one.